Howdy, folks. Today we're diving into the world of soups, perfect for those chilly days. Grab a blanket and get ready to learn some fun facts about these delicious bowls of warmth. We'll be exploring 5 classic soups that are sure to hit the spot when the temperature drops. From the familiar comfort of chicken noodle to the rich and savory flavors of French onion, there's a soup out there for everyone. So settle in, get cozy, and let's get cooking. First up, we've got chicken noodle soup, a true blue American favorite. Now, some folks say this soup goes all the way back to ancient times, but the version we know and love today really took root in the 19th century. Back then, a plump hen was a valuable thing. So, simmering it down into a flavorful broth was a way to stretch those ingredients and feed the whole family. And let me tell you, there's nothing more comforting than a steaming bowl of chicken noodle soup when you're feeling under the weather. It's like a warm hug from the inside out, the soft noodles, the tender chicken, and that savory broth. It's pure magic. And the best part is it's pretty darn easy to make. You can use leftover chicken, store-bought broth, or even get yourself one of those rotisserie chickens from the market. Just throw in some carrots, celery, onions, and your favorite noodles and let it simmer. Before you know it, you'll have a pot of pure comfort food ready to warm you up from the inside out. It's a classic for a reason, folks. Next up, we've got tomato soup, a vibrant and tangy delight that's practically a national treasure. Now, tomato soup might seem like an all-American classic, but those juicy tomatoes actually hail from South America. They made their way over to Europe with those exploring folks back in the day, and it wasn't long before folks started simmering them down into a soup. Tomato soup really took off in the United States in the early 20th century, thanks in part to a fella named Andy Warhol and his iconic Campbell's soup cans. But let's be honest, the real reason tomato soup became a household staple is its perfect pairing with another American classic, the grilled cheese sandwich. That creamy tomato soup with its subtle sweetness and tangy finish is the ideal dipping companion for a buttery, gooey grilled cheese. It's a match made in culinary heaven. Whether you prefer your tomato soup smooth or chunky from a can or homemade, there's no denying its comforting and satisfying nature. It's a simple pleasure that's sure to bring a smile to your face. French onion soup, a symphony of caramelized goodness. Now let's talk about French onion soup, a rich and savory masterpiece that's sure to impress. This dish is a true testament to the magic that can happen when simple ingredients are treated with care and patience. Don't let the fancy French name fool you. This soup is all about simple ingredients cooked low and slow to perfection. We're talking onions, beef broth, a splash of wine, and some herbs. That's it. The key to a truly outstanding French onion soup is those caramelized onions. They are the heart and soul of this dish. We're talking onions cooked down for what seems like an eternity, until they're golden brown and practically melting in your mouth. This process takes time, but it's so worth it. That slow caramelization process brings out the natural sweetness of the onions, creating a depth of flavor that's just out of this world. It's like turning a humble onion into a culinary gem. Once those onions are nice and caramelized, you add in some rich beef broth, which adds a robust and hearty base to the soup. A splash of dry sherry or white wine if you're feeling fancy, which adds a subtle complexity and a touch of elegance to the flavor profile, and a touch of thyme for an earthy note. This herb brings a fresh, aromatic quality that balances the richness of the broth. But the real showstopper is the topping. This is where the magic truly happens. A thick slice of crusty bread gets gently placed on top of the soup, absorbing some of that delicious broth. And then it's all covered in a generous layer of Gruyere cheese. This cheese is perfect because it melts beautifully and has a nutty, slightly sweet flavor. The soup goes under the broiler until the cheese is melted, bubbly, and starting to brown in spots. This creates a beautiful golden crust that's irresistible. That first spoonful with the cheesy bread soaking up all that savory broth is pure heaven. The combination of flavors and textures is simply divine. It's a symphony of flavors and textures that'll have you saying ooh la la with every bite. Each spoonful is a journey through layers of taste, from the sweet caramelized onions to the rich broth and the gooey melted cheese. Clam chowder, a taste of the New England coast. Now let's head on over to the coast and dive into a bowl of clam chowder, a creamy and hearty soup that's as comforting as a warm ocean breeze. Imagine the waves crashing against the shore as you take a sip. This here soup hails from the shores of New England, where those hardy fishermen have been warming themselves up with its creamy goodness for centuries. It's a tradition that has stood the test of time. There are two main types of clam chowder: New England clam chowder, which is the creamy white one, and Manhattan clam chowder, which has a tomato base. Each has its own unique flavor and history. We're going to focus on the New England style today, because that's the one that really warms you up on a chilly day. It's like a hug in a bowl. It all starts with a base of salt pork or bacon, rendered down until it's nice and crispy. This gives the chowder a rich, smoky flavor. Then you add in your onions, celery, and potatoes, which add a wonderful texture and heartiness to the soup, along with some clam juice and milk or cream for that signature creamy texture. This is what makes New England clam chowder so special. Of course, you can't forget the clams themselves. Fresh clams are always best, bringing the true taste of the sea to your bowl. But you can use canned clams in a pinch. They still provide that essential clam flavor. Just make sure to chop them up a bit before you add them to the pot. This ensures every bite has a bit of clam. Once everything is simmered to perfection, allowing all the flavors to meld together beautifully, you ladle that chowder into a bowl, sprinkle on some fresh parsley, adding a touch of color and freshness, and maybe a few oyster crackers for good measure. They add a delightful crunch. It's a taste of the ocean that'll warm you up from the inside out, perfect for any time you need a little comfort. Minestrone soup, a hearty Italian classic. Last but not least, we've got minestrone soup, a hearty and flavorful Italian classic that's packed with a variety of fresh, vibrant veggies. This soup is like a warm hug from an Italian grandmother, full of love, tradition, and wholesome goodness that has been passed down through generations. Minestrone is a true peasant dish, meaning it was created by those hard-working folks who used whatever ingredients they had on hand to create a filling and nutritious meal. It's a testament to resourcefulness and culinary creativity. That's why there's no one right way to make minestrone soup. Each family and region in Italy has its own unique version, making it a versatile and adaptable dish. It's all about using what you've got and letting those flavors meld together over a slow simmer, creating a rich and comforting broth. But no matter what veggies you choose, there are a few key ingredients that no minestrone soup should be without. These essentials form the backbone of the dish. First, you need a good quality olive oil to sauté your veggies in. This adds a depth of flavor and richness to the soup. Then you'll want to add in some aromatic vegetables like onions, carrots, celery, and garlic. These form the aromatic base that infuses the soup with its signature taste. From there, the sky's the limit. You can get creative and add whatever vegetables you have on hand. You can add in any veggies you like, such as zucchini, yellow squash, green beans, potatoes, or even leafy greens like spinach or kale. Each addition brings its own unique texture and flavor. For a heartier soup, you can add in some beans, lentils, or small pasta shapes like ditalini or elbow macaroni. These ingredients make the soup more filling and satisfying. And of course, no minestrone soup would be complete without a generous grating of Parmesan cheese on top. This adds a salty, umami kick that ties all the flavors together. It's a hearty and satisfying soup that's perfect for a cold winter's day. Whether you're enjoying it by the fire or sharing it with loved ones, minestrone soup is sure to warm your heart and soul. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear about your favorite soups in the comments below. Remember, a good bowl of soup is more than just a meal. It's a ritual. It's about slowing down, savoring the flavors, and warming yourself up from the inside out. So next time the temperature drops, grab a pot, gather your ingredients, and get cooking. Stay warm and see y'all next time.